Hey y'all, this is Moni.
And this is Kat.
Hey Kat.
And
this is the Fake Ass Book Club. Wait, can we both say it or no?
Welcome back, you guys. It's your girl, Moni.
And this is Kat.
Hey, Kat.
Hey, Moni.
Welcome back, guys. It's the Fake Ass Book Club. Once again, feels good.
Does feel good.
Yes,
it feels
indeed.
right.
It does.
We haven't been in the studio in a while.
I know.
Yeah.
We had the live show.
We did.
And then we had a fake ass episode.
We did.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed that little Patreon sort of teaser. So
You liked it.
It was fun. we really get into it in Patreon. All right, you guys, a little bit about our topic today. Babes follows inseparable childhood best friends Eden and Dawn, having grown up together in NYC, now firmly in different phases of adulthood. When carefree and single Eden decides to have a baby on her own after a one-night stand, their friendship faces its greatest challenge. Babes delves into the complexities of female friendship with a blend of laughter, tears, and labor pains. From co-writers Ilana Glazer, Josh Rabinowitz, and director Pamela Adlon, Babes is a hilarious and heartfelt comedy about the bonds of friendship and the messy, unpredictable challenges of adulthood and becoming a parent.
Yeah, I think that about sums it up.
It really does.
Full disclosure, Kat didn't watch the full movie. My life is harder than everyone else's, so I didn't have time to do the thing I was requested to do.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Okay, so nonetheless, we are here because that's never stopped a bad bitch from showing up where she had to be. You said to me this morning, you're like, I feel so unprepared for everything. I'm like, but yet you're here.
But yeah, I don't let that stop me.
So here we are.
I just feel drastically unprepared most of the time. And I just fake it.
You just fake it.
Like this book club.
That's right. And we encourage you to do the same.
Just show up. No one's better than you.
It's so true. You guys are the best. So let's sort of do what we always do around this time. We're going to dedicate this episode. So guys, hands over your hearts to our patrons. I can't even say enough about the wonderful people who continue to support this ragtag podcast that we show up for weekly. We love you so much. You have no idea. Just the good feelings, the warm feelings, the support. It's unparalleled. So thank you so much. Also this week, I'm going to do sort of a general shout out to my family because for the holiday, I got to go to Michigan and visit my dad and cousins and nephews. My brother was there, like just having that time to sort of, get grounded and be around family was really, really great. And I also wanted to dedicate this to, in the vein of what we're talking about, becoming new parents and stuff. My nephew has 3, about to have 4 kids. Shout out to you and your wife and your beautiful family. And my cousin, her and her husband, they have a little one who's 8 or 9 months, and she's pregnant too. So babies changed the game. And so just shout out to you guys because, we know how hard it is. Let the circle be unbroken. Let it be unbroken. So what about you, friend?
Yes, and all of that. My dedication is going out this week to the Truth of Freedom exhibit at Newfields, which is ending today. It was really great being a part of it. It was so nice meeting all of the different artists that were part of it. The Indie Black Market was yesterday at Newfields, and it was wonderful. I just love, you know me. Anyone who knows Kat knows I have loved Newfields back when it was the IMA. That has always just been one of my happy places, and to see so many Black people there being, asked to be part of the community, it's just really great. And I would also like to dedicate this to your brother, who you mentioned in your dedication, for hooking me up.
Care
what
packages.
A fantastic fellow. Like, I've always said what a great guy he is. Thank you so much. It just made my week. Okay. So, dedication over.
Dedication over. Feels accomplished to get all of the things out.
I'm sorry. Secondary dedication.
Cue the music back up.
This dedication is also going out to the man, I can't remember his last name, Corey something. He was the man who got shot to death at the Trump rally. Because all the attention is going to be on Trump, and I get it, he's the famous one, but this man died protecting his family from the spray of bullets at this political rally, which was a tragedy. Corey Capertor. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong, sir. That was just tragic, and I hate to see that. I hate that for his family and what they're going through. And there's also another person, I don't know their name, but who's in intensive care from that.
Hot mess.
Yeah, that's it's a tragic, senseless, like, why? So dedication over to them.
Again, one more time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, man. And I don't, we talked about this a little bit in our Patreon. So if you're not a patron and you want to know what we thought about that whole situation, you guys should go over to Patreon /The Fat Podcast. Sign up now, support our podcast, enjoy all of the wonderful content.
Quit.
Not true. But it would be helpful and you guys will get a kick out of it. We have so much bonus content on there. So definitely show up and support if you can. But for today's show, you guys, babes, let's talk about it. Let's get into it. So I just remember seeing the like trailers and kind of like the stuff leading up to it, maybe like in May. And I thought, man, I love Michelle Buteau.
We do love her around
love
here.
Ilana Glazer. Like, they're so funny. They're both two comedians that, use a lot of physical comedy. So you have the funniness, but then you also have the heart. And that's what I really liked about this movie. I feel like it really tapped into, the hilarity, just like making fun of some of the things you go through as a woman, especially while you're pregnant or building a family and all of that stuff. But also like tapping into just some of those heartfelt things that happen, some of the changes and stuff that happen. So like we mentioned at the top, or like I mentioned, these are two friends who have grown up together. They are clearly each other's OSO. If you're new here, we did read a book called The Other Significant Other, which sort of poses the question like, do we have significant others that maybe aren't the people who we build a life with romantically? And we agree that there is. And so they had this really close childhood bond and, maintain their friendship over time. But, they're in two really different spaces in life. Have you ever experienced anything like this, friend?
Oh, let me think. Yes. It is very, especially because I had my first child so much sooner than you had your first child. Yeah. So there is, like, when you're in kid world, it is another planet. Mm-hmm. Like, you just don't know until you know. It's same thing with being married. Like, you don't know, like, no matter what you think, dating is not like marriage. Mm-hmm. So you can get that out of your mind. So yes, maintaining those connections that you built as a literal child and then carrying that over into adulthood, it's very challenging, but I'm very good at challenging things.
Listen, I mean, we're a testament to that.
We are.
Very much so. But yeah, I really liked it that the movie tapped into, both the transition into like having a family and having kids, but also maintaining friendships, because it's something that we've talked about a lot, I feel like, on the podcast, and just how difficult that is. You know what I mean?
Is it why the podcast exists?
It kind of is. It kind of is. Like, I mean, if you've been listening for a while, that's a reason why I was like, I need an excuse, because it's just so easy to get wrapped up in your daily life. It is. I mean, it's all
I don't think I would have seen you Sunday if it wasn't for the podcast. No. Not for real.
No, not at all. And before, going back to, like, you had kids before me, but our Sundays were always a day where we connected, though. Mm-hmm. And I remember, I'd go to your grandma's house. She would cook dinner. I'd be over there. This was like before I had kids, so my Sundays were free. Like, I could always make it over there, and it was on my top priority list. You know what I mean? And in full disclosure, I don't know if I've ever said this though, but I know there was a time where I was like, so if I don't come to Kat's grandma's, I probably wouldn't see Kat. Like, I don't think she's checking for me outside of this. Like, if I didn't come over, you know what I mean? And for like a split second, I felt away. And then the more I thought about it, I'm like, but it's easier for me to, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is just easier. Like, how am I gonna be mad?
In the movie where the person with the youngest child,
that like
person gets to, they get the convenience factor.
Factor.
Yes.
But I will say that, and that's from a space of not knowing what it's like to constantly be on deck for a child. You know what I'm saying? And the extra steps that you have to take to pack up a kid and bring them somewhere, and then also bringing them into a space that's not their space where they live and they're used to being. You don't know what your kids are gonna do.
Sometimes they
have no idea. It just gets crazy. So I don't know. I just super loved the perspective of this movie and the realness of just the mom experience from our perspective as far as being like in it. So let's get into the story though. So like we kind of
Oh wait, can I do the rundown on the director?
Oh God, yes! I'm so excited.
So we
yes.
can.
Let's
that
talk
was what was
about
crazy.
it.
I was
Yes.
like, oh wait, I know her.
Yes, please
Okay,
give
let
the
me,
rundown.
Go back here
Like
a
I
little
do
bit.
all the time.
I'll just go to my pictures. There we go. Oh yeah, I had my titties out last
too, girl.
weekend.
I saw
Thank you. It was fun. Okay, so the director of this film was Pamela Adlon. She's an American actress, writer, and director, and is known for voicing Bobby Hill in the animated comedy series King of the Hill. So I was like, I don't know you. That's my purse. Like that.
That's her.
That's her. In the animated, and for which she won a Primetime Emmy Award. And she's also done a lot of stuff too, Better Things on FX. And I kind of knew her from a lot of Louis C.K.'s stuff. She's very funny, and she's a very good actress, and apparently a very good director. And she's also had 3 kids. I love that that's listed on her bio, because to do all of that stuff with 3 children,
impressive.
it is very impressive. So yeah, thanks, shout out to her, and thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was co-written by Ilana Glazer and Josh Rabinowitz too. So yeah, it was honestly for me, I just super appreciate them taking this sort of because I mean we kind of got it with Tina Fey with Baby Mama, kind of.
It gave me those
But
vibes,
it was making
where
like
you're
it's super
centering
similar.
a female relationship, like a pair of females in a relationship other than just the parents of the child when it's a pregnancy movie.
Oh my gosh.
Because it is important to I was thinking too, it was like how supportive you were of me when I was pregnant with my first child and was like dying. Like
It was giving death. It was not cute.
But like just the fact that you weren't like, ew, you're dying gross, bye.
Yeah.
It was like it was
could
very
have.
important, because like as you know, I'm not really going out. Like, but you would still come through it and be like, hey, you still alive?
Yeah.
You want some pizza?
Poke you with a stick.
Hey, you need to go to the beauty supply, your hair looks bad.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
And it's like, yes, but I can't drive and showering's difficult.
Yeah,
So
it's
it was
crazy.
like a whole thing. So yeah, like seeing that sort of, you do need that support. Not to say you don't need your partner's support in any way, but like the more places you can get support, the better.
Yeah.
Like I don't think there's anything as like, oh, I've gotten too much love lately.
Yeah, never said that. Never have said that. But
Yeah.
yeah, and so
But it was also funny.
it was hilarious. Definitely giving Baby Mama vibes as far as like the kind of comedy and stuff like that, the physical comedy, but also that heartwarming sense. But I love how the movie starts out with Michelle Buteau's character basically being in labor.
And not knowing it.
Listen,
Well, knowing it, but not knowing how far she was.
I was gonna say both times it took me by surprise. And you would
what
think-
did your husband say to you?
He was like, he handed me a dress and was like, put this on, we're about to go.
Well, I thought he said when you're
That was the second time.
Oh, that was the second time. I was thinking the time when you were like, when you're done being in denial, just wake me up.
Yes, that was it. Because I was like, because our mutual friend, one of our other baby mamas, shout out to you, love you, was at our house. We had ordered these like steak and cheese subs. We were eating dinner and stuff, and I kept having to go to the bathroom. And I guess she whispered to my husband, like, this bitch is in labor. Like, we're gonna go now. You know what I'm saying? So, and then my husband's like, you think we should go to the hospital? I'm like, I mean, no, I'm not like, I had been so uncomfortable for so long that I didn't realize that I was actually in labor. I just felt like this seems like,
This just seems like the next level.
Yeah,
I'm
the
just
next
leveling to the next
level.
discomfort level.
yeah.
Yes.
And I also didn't have like the kind of contractions that where your stomach tensed up or got hard or whatever. So I didn't associate what was happening with actual contractions. So yeah, he was just like, well, I'm about to take a nap. So when you're done playing games, wake me up and we'll go.
We'll go to the hospital.
And I finally was like, okay, I think it's time. But yeah, I mean, I love that they tap into that a little bit too, because for one, each time you give birth, it is totally different. It's not the exact same experience. And also too, just because I've done this once doesn't mean I don't know. Like, I have no idea. I don't know. Like, each time is different. At least that's how I
Now,
felt.
I will say, as close as we are, I've never like checked your cervix.
No. But I would have checked yours if we needed to, though.
Yes, if it came down to that. But
Yeah.
once again, we're both sensible people.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna, and especially not doing it at a restaurant.
They were out of control. Like, there was definitely a sense of just like, okay, they did the most with this scene. So they're like ordering up all this food because in her mind, she's like, the last time I went, I was there for hours and hours.
And they don't let you eat.
And you can't eat because
you will. But you still poop on yourself, so why not just let me eat?
I didn't poop on myself.
I
was so
didn't.
proud.
And they didn't let me eat, and I still
You see, listen, I
had
did
a
catch the
moment.
oil, so. Anywho, I had done all that before I got there, but I understand I don't want to be there for a long ass time. That was the other thing. Like, you
Yeah.
get there and then you're just there. So they go to this restaurant, they're ordering up all this food. Her water starts to break. And she's like, it's fine, we have time.
But it's like a trickle, though. It's
Yeah.
not like in the sitcoms. It wasn't like a splash. It's just slowly leaking out.
Did your water break?
So,
Remind me, friend.
so my first one, no. They had to break my water at the hospital.
Okay.
The second time, yes.
Like, my water had to be broken both times.
Okay.
So I never experienced what it felt like.
But I
to
do
just-
remember when they broke it, it was splashy. The first time.
Yeah.
Like when it looked like a crochet needle.
Yeah, it does. Ugh, God. It's so messed up, man. It's so messed up. And, you know, I like the scene of her like leaving the restaurant. That was really funny. Cause she was, like,
when she's just breathing heavy
in
on
people's
people.
faces. Yeah, that was great.
I didn't see her pay though. I was like, they better pay.
She said it though.
She was like, you better
"Tip
tip him, but
good."
you didn't see them.
Well, you can call back
All
and
right.
pay. Can't you call back on the phone with your card or something?
No, actually, I've done that before where I've tried to pay for stuff like for dinners I couldn't go to because I wanted to like order them a drink or a bottle or something like that, and they don't let you do that over the phone.
Oh, that's.
I get it. It's a
stupid.
security risk because anybody could do that.
Won't the card get declined right away?
No, but you can dispute charges because you can say that wasn't me over the phone. Like that's why they want that signature boy in person. Yes.
Understood.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
All right,
So
fine.
shout out to them. Not mad at them.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, then she has the baby. They already have apparently a 4-year-old. They're married. They live. I want to say is it
Somewhere in
Queens
New
or
York.
the Bronx?
Oh.
It was a brownstone.
It was a
Harlem?
borough.
I don't know.
A borough.
We don't know, but it was. We're not New York. 'Cause y'all can
Sorry.
tell us. But yeah, it was just, and you know, watching how you go from having that one kid to two. Like I know there was a space in between yours, but like, do you feel
a nice
like
large space?
a nice large space? Do you think that was helpful or?
I mean, it is and it isn't. You know what I mean? Like, because sometimes it's nice for them to have a peer.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. So my kids weren't peers by any measure, but I was rested up for sure.
That part.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I had convinced myself. I'm like, yeah, I could do this again. I think like
Did you play yourself? friend?
it was a little Nintendo-ish. I was like, I think with my first, I was like, yep, I'm a little out of my depth. This is just going to be it for a while. Like, let's just see how taking care of this person goes, easy peasy. And then they get older and you're just like, yeah, it's just like my body now. My body now is trying to get me pregnant. I think I've
Yeah,
mentioned this
your
before on the
body's
show.
rude.
And it's like, I don't have to listen to my uterus. I listen to my brain.
Your uterus is
And
stupid.
my uterus is a bimbo.
Dumb. Yeah. Stupid.
She's an ignorant slut.
Yeah, she
so,
is.
but my brain, she's smart, and she's like, no, 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 no. Remember how you almost died?
Well, and she touched on that. Michelle Buteau's character was touching on this. I think you probably missed this, but she was.
Oh yeah, guys, I didn't finish. I had to skip ahead
Yeah,
just to
we
get to the ending. I'm sorry.
But there was a point where she was like, yeah, because when she finally tells her that she's going to keep the baby or whatever, she tries to be supportive. She feels like it's crazy a little bit, but doesn't say it.
Right.
But when they went on their like
Baby
moon or whatever, she was like, yo, like, for one, like you have a baby, it's super hard, and then you get a little farther away from it and you play yourself thinking like, oh, I can do this again. And then she was like, and then you have another one, and then now she was like, just like you say, there's no resting up. Bitch, you're back on deck. Let's get those mammary glands in gear. Okay, let's get that coochie into popping motion. Okay, at all times. And you have now a toddler or a small child who, you know what I'm saying? Like it's so intense and it's so hard. And she was like, I can't. And you basically read her like, you're having a baby with somebody you don't even know and all this kind of stuff. And then you think I'm supposed to be
the
like,
stand-in person.
I
You didn't
can't. Like, I
consult
don't-
me.
yeah, like, I'm tired.
I'm
Like, what do
already
you-
like.
Wit's end is a good way to describe that though. But I do think that moms shy away from talking about, that feeling, because you know there's some guilt associated with saying like I feel so fucking tired. I feel overwhelmed.
Or even depressed, because that's a very common feeling after baby having.
Yeah, the hormone dump is
real.
Really real.
Your hair's falling out.
Oh man, they depicted that in there. You didn't see that? I mean, they just really gave you.
They gave you the real, giving birth to the placenta. Because I feel like I wasn't ready for that.
It took my breath away.
Oh my goodness!
Like literally, I just remember like being like, oh my God.
Because the placenta's not trying to get out. The baby's trying to get out.
No, they have to reach in and grab it out, basically. I just remember being like, you're about to be fisted, man.
They weren't, they were
wow.
pushing on my tummy.
Yeah, and with their hand up there, love. They have to pull it out, yes.
Well, I'm glad they did.
You don't want it in there.
You don't.
Stuck. That's not a good look.
And then I didn't do anything with it. I wasn't one of those people.
To blend it up and put it in tablets.
Yeah, put in some tablets and stuff.
I'm supposed to help even out your hormones.
I guess so. Maybe the hair doesn't fall out. If they had told me to keep my hair from falling out, I might have tried it.
It probably does. It does a lot. Think about it. These are cells that bring new life, so it kind of helps replenish everything.
Could they just inject it? I don't want to eat it. Like, it's already been inside me. Could we just like?
I never be like, what's the big deal?
Like a suppository?
Ew, you rather stick it up your butt?
Well, you can put I was actually thinking of my vaginal cavity.
So you rather finger pop yourself with your placenta rather than just putting it in a goddamn capsule?
I'm just putting it back where it was.
Sure. It wasn't really in your vagina,
That's where I found
though.
it. It's close. Like, I'm putting it back in that system. Like.
Sure. Okay. I mean, we have our preferences. I'd rather have this. Okay, fine.
I didn't do it though. That's the whole point though.
I didn't do it either.
And it's not going to happen again. So I'm not growing any more placenta or people.
Not doing it though. But what about, because they showed a scene where Ilana was getting was going to have an amniocentesis. Did you ever have to do that?
No. Did you?
I didn't know.
I had a great, my primary care doctor, my first one anyway. Fantastic.
Okay.
He was like, I don't really see why we need to do this.
Okay.
So he's like, you're not high risk. You get a lot of false positives. Yeah. I mean, just, you know, he seemed to really care about me as a person and who I was. Like, he seemed to kind of get it. And like I said, because I was having a difficult pregnancy anyway, so he gave me the best advice, which was do whatever you have to do to feel better.
Aw, dang.
Yeah, he was really great.
That's some really, because I mean, it's I don't know. Like, I think you get the message that, like, it's gonna be so easy and natural. And just because things are natural doesn't mean it's easy, though. Like,
that's the naturalistic fallacy. We have all these logical fallacies our brains falls into. And yes, the naturalistic fallacy is one of them. Where people are like, oh, it's natural, so it must be good. It's like, no, there's all kind of natural things that suck. You know what else is natural? Cancer.
I knew it. I knew you were gonna say it.
Every time cancer is organic as fuck.
Yeah,
and it's not great. It's worth fighting. So yeah, just because something's naturally occurring doesn't mean it's automatically good. You know what else is natural? Rape. That happens in the natural world all the time.
Oh my gosh. You mean SA?
Yes.
SA. We hate when that happens.
The crepes, supernatural. You see it all over nature.
So talking about natural things and things you're supposed to it's easy because it's natural. Breastfeeding, they tapped in on this. You know, she was
Did you ever have a lactation consultant?
So they have one at the hospital. So like, yes. It just like came with the package, I guess.
Okay.
She was just there like, you know, here's some different positions you can hold the baby in and stuff like that. But and I'm just like, how do you know how much they're getting? Because I think that's a huge concern when you're first having your baby. It's like, how much are they pooping and peeing? They have you writing it down, tracking it. Then I did, because they were asking me for it. Like, it was homework. And I was like, what the fuck? I didn't know I was going to be tested along with all this other stuff.
They'll still let you go if you don't have it.
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So I was doing my homework. And then, you know, the lactation thing. So you're like tracking how long they're on one versus the other and all this stuff. And I just remember being like, how do I know my baby's not starving? Because these are rocks.
Oh, they won't shut up about it. Like, that's
why I was like, he's up every 2 hours. Maybe he's because he's not getting enough food.
Well, but that's normal with nursing, though.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't know. They say it's natural.
You don't stay as full with the breast milk. The breast milk you need to do a little more often than the formula. I have to say there were some great medical professionals who gave me some great advice. That was one of them where, because I was voicing concern, I'm like, I don't know how much he's getting or if he's getting enough. Because at first first, your breast milk isn't liquid. It's like this, like paste almost.
Ew.
And their first poop is
Colostrum.
colostrum. Say that again for the people.
Colostrum.
Yeah, that's a great word. It looks like a combination of motor oil and chocolate syrup.
What? I don't remember seeing that.
Both of my babies had that coming
Wait a
up.
minute, is that the boo-boo?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, you're talking about the breast milk.
Yeah.
No, my breast milk did not look like
I'm
that.
about to say, ew.
My breast
what
milk-
kind of breast milk are you making? You got chocolate milk.
It's like, not to shame you.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry.
No.
So what's the...
The colostrum is the boo-boo.
Okay, the colostrum's the boo-boo?
I think so.
Okay.
Let me Google it. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on, y'all. It's been a minute.
I don't want to give out bad information on our fake-ass podcast.
And y'all saw the disclaimer.
But-
We don't know what we're doing.
But yeah, those first couple poops, there's nothing wrong with your kid. It's supposed to look like that. Because they've been, they haven't been eating food. But yeah, there's just all kinds of fun surprises.
Colostrum. Yeah, so it is the nutrient-rich first milk produced.
Okay, that's
I
your
wasn't
first
wrong.
meal.
Okay.
But it doesn't look like milk. It's chunky and you don't really see it squirting out. So at first it doesn't feel like anything's coming out. But baby is getting something, and that's why they're being quiet about it. Because when I asked the nurse, I was like, I don't know if he's getting enough. She's like, trust me, that baby will let you know if it's hungry.
Right, there you have it.
So I was like, okay, I believe you, because he's not super chill.
Yeah. Yeah, he's pretty good at letting me know that, he needs something. But yeah, that's one thing that is so stressful though. And I think like you don't hear enough about like how much of a struggle breastfeeding can be because it is natural.
Yeah, it's like you got titties, you got a baby, go.
Right, do it.
And it's like, actually, and
it
painful.
hurts.
I remember it was such a juxtaposition of pain and pleasure, because once you start nursing, it starts releasing the
good
serotonin
stuff, yeah.
or oxytocin, whatever that bonding chemical is. But before that, it feels
It's
like
the pain.
your nipples are getting poked by
Meat grinder.
maybe 100,000 sharp little needles.
Sure. Or Indian, excuse me, that's probably a messed up thing to say. But when somebody takes their hands,
Moni's is a racist.
y'all been knowing this if you've been on this podcast.
No, but yes.
But when they take your arm and just
twist it,
grinded
it hurts. So
She said,
bad.
she described her nipples in the movie
Oh, it's sausage.
as the sausage outside of the casing.
Yeah, they get a little chewed
Wow.
up for a while. That's why I feel like a good
Chewed
way to
up.
gauge when it's time to start nursing is when they get them teeth. Like, to me, that was a good time to part ways. But yeah, it's extremely painful, extremely hot.
Well, and the pressure you put on yourself too, like the stress that you feel to nourish your baby too. I like how how they delved into that, because it's like it's something that's supposed to be natural, and then if you struggle at it, it's like you feel like you're failing.
You're
and some of that is
yeah.
like your
you don't know how to be a woman.
Yeah,
you
it's like,
idiot.
Right? It's like, but I mean, the babies
I
here
like how
on
Tina
here.
Fey brought it up, where she was like, "Oh, you must breastfeed your baby. You must." In bossy pants,
Yeah.
and she was like, 5 years from now, IQ test your baby and my baby.
Yeah, it's
because
not
she
gonna
was
be a
like,
huge
I had to
difference.
do formula. I don't know what
Yeah.
to tell you. Like, it's just. And I remember too, after breastfeeding, this is something that doesn't get talked about enough. I hated how my breasts looked. They looked awful. Like, and I'm a 23-year-old girl. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, the titties shouldn't look like this. This is so sad. But you have to give
They
yourself
come
some
back.
time.
They come
like,
back.
it took, like a year and a half from
Just
the time you were
about.
pregnant and the nursing and all that stuff. It's a lot for your body to go through.
Mm-hmm.
So I gave it some time. I did work out, wear the little bras or whatever. They're still not great. I looked into getting breast augmentation, decided against it, and was like, you know what? I'm just gonna let it do what
Let
it
it
do.
roll.
So it's
Yeah.
like,
I mean, no one's ever passed you up. Like, actually,
I don't know though. Maybe they have.
I doubt it. I doubt it. And actually, I think, it's different for everybody. I didn't hate, they weren't like they were before, but they weren't terrible. But it's different. Your body does change, and it's like,
That's just
It's
part
a
of
lot.
life.
Yeah,
and it
it's a
shouldn't
lot.
be the same. Like, I shouldn't look like I did before.
Yeah.
Like, I've been through something.
Yeah.
I don't have display titties anymore. I have
Dis-
functioning mammal
Mammary
breasts. They're not for viewing.
period.
They
They're not for viewing, okay? These are not.
They were put to full use to keep humans alive.
Okay, not full.
Oh my gosh, that
That's
makes
hilarious.
you think so much about The Boys. You have to watch this new season. Oh my God. Because you know that's Homelander's
They get him-
kryptonite.
I know, he is so gross.
Woo.
I hate him so
But you have
much.
to imagine what his life was like. He never got the titties.
I
when he
fucking
was
hate his
younger.
guts.
Oh, he's such a.
Somebody give him the titties, please, because
I think they do.
oh, oh no.
I'm not saying who.
Yeah, don't tell
But
me.
oh,
Are y'all watching
man.
that? That's
Watch
a mess.
You guys, let us know if you want us to review The Boys, like the comic books they were based on. It's
I did not know they were. Who
Yes.
wrote these?
Derek Robertson and Garth Ennis.
You guys are some MFs, man. This was some dark shit, but also great.
Wow. I'm really excited to read the comics. I've been really enjoying like the new season. Sage is an amazing character. I'm very interested into what her like ultimate evil plot is. Whatever.
Okay.
You don't see a lot of live births on The Boys though.
Oh my gosh.
But
no.
it's interesting because it does get into those relationships because of the, we got Vought and whatnot. Anywho.
Okay, back to Babes. So what did you think? Did you feel like the characterization between so you have Ilana's character, who is this, you know, carefree yoga instructor, you know what I mean? Like she's single.
Spending $400 on sushi.
My God.
Did that part bother you?
I was like, my God. I wouldn't have gotten it. I'd have been like, oh.
Well, my whole thing is like, how do you get sticker shot with carryout? I feel like I always get my total
It's
before.
like, so how much was that?
Well, for one, I'm usually ordering online, quite honestly. So I get to see the total
That
and
was
they ask me
crazy.
for
That
the
was
tip
crazy.
and all that stuff. Like very rarely do they give me the option of pay, especially for an order that is $400.
$450
The option to pay in cash when I get there. They're like, we don't need this money before we start
we
making
need to
this
hold
food.
this card.
Actually.
Hold this card.
Anyway, but
Yeah,
let's
that
just
was
say
wild.
this was like a super chill sushi restaurant.
Yeah, obviously.
And they just let her, so let's just say she called up, ordered a bunch of sushi and got sticker shock when she was, but it's like, girl, like, you know how much sushi costs.
And
like,
then she rolls up to the hospital with all these bags, and that lady's like, you can't come in here because you're not the family, you know?
and my whole thing is like, why don't people just lie and be like, yeah, that's,
Like,
my,
that's
sister.
my sister. We have different dads.
No one's
It's fine.
checking. It's like, you know, pro tip from the Fab podcast, ain't nobody checking IDs at the hospital.
Listen.
They're running on the honor system.
So who is it? Now, some of them I will say will have lists. You do have to say who it is.
Sure,
and stuff
especially
like
those
that.
NICUs.
Yeah, they.
Okay, now
yeah.
the NICU,
they go
don't
hard.
play those games at the
Yeah,
NICU.
they-
You better
You have to
be
show
all the
some.
way right. But
Mhm.
and I guess like a lot of paternity stuff like that. But like I feel like if there was a list, she would have been put on the list.
Absolutely, yeah, she probably
So
would've
it's
been.
kind of like I'd just be like, yeah, I'm her sister. She really wanted this sushi, girl. You know how it is. You want some? Like,
True. True. Okay.
you know, try
Here's
to.
a little role for you, girl.
But whatever. But that leads her to meeting her baby daddy.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. So they, you know, she leaves. She has all this sushi. She's on the train. She meets this guy in a tux, an old-fashioned tux.
Yes.
And,
He looks like a tux you would wear at MCL.
They wear tuxes at MCL?
No, but like if they had like waiters at MCL, this looks like the type of tux because it was like burgundy.
Huh.
It was like a burgundy tux.
I haven't been to MCL in a long, long
Oh,
time.
I be going to MCL.
MCL. Grandma.
I am.
But yeah, so he's like all fancy and stuff. They strike up a conversation because they're gonna take the same 4 trains basically. Because that's one thing. Like she's taking 4 trains to see her friend, and a lot of the time, you know, they're only hanging out for 45 minutes. It's not like it's not a long time or whatever. But she starts talking to this guy and they're vibing, and she ends up going back to his place and they play Street Fighter, and she whoops his ass in
it
some
was
Street
such a
Fighter, which is super
vibe.
cute. And you know, they end up, you know, doing it.
Raw.
Or whatever, right? Because she was like on her
on her
menstrual cycle.
period. Look, she was like, let's ruin the towel.
Let's do it. Because both of them were talking about how they never have raw sex. They go to the same clinic. They knew the guys up there and stuff like that.
It was
to
the
get
Lucas
tested.
twins.
It was the Lucas
brothers.
twins.
Oh, that was great. It was great seeing them. I'm glad to know that they're doing well. You never know what celebrities like, but they seem like they're taking care of themselves.
Yeah, they were in a new movie, so
That
good
was
for
good.
them.
And I felt like the waiter looked like King K from Drunken Nights
And
podcast.
it's funny because it didn't come to me until after you said. I'm like, he does kind of look like
he
that.
looks a lot like they could
Yeah.
be kin. I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised.
They're cousins.
Yeah, that was Claude.
Yeah, man, Claude. So yeah, they had this like really great connection or whatever. They end up having sex and stuff like that. And then the next day when she's at her yoga class, she had texted him or something because I think she had his bow tie. Mm-hmm. And he just kind of ghosted her. She didn't hear anything. So she ends up...
That part made me really sad.
I saw that. I saw you watch that part. And then it was like, but so... I don't know, like as a friend of somebody, like, so she ends up being pregnant. She figures it out after they decide to have a mom night out because Michelle Buteau's character was like stressing out about breastfeeding. Her husband was like, babe, just like go out, relax, like whatever, just go out with your friend or whatever. Like you need a break from this. So she goes to her friend's house. They decide to drink and stuff because she was just going to pump and dump. But also she wasn't really making milk, so it didn't really matter. And doing shrooms. And Ilana, I think the last time she was on shrooms, she was like, I kept thinking I was pregnant. And it kind of happened again where she was hallucinating that she was pregnant. So she takes all of these pregnancy tests, ends up being pregnant. Which the timing on that, which if that was the next day.
No, enough time.
Maybe it was enough time.
For her to know that she was being ghosted.
Okay, so so I'll take that back. I said it like it was the next day, but it was
because
some time
she was asking
passed.
if he had New Year's plans because all this stuff happened like on Thanksgiving.
Around Thanksgiving, yeah, or on,
yeah, because they go to the movies every Thanksgiving for the past 27 years.
Okay, which is adorable.
It is.
And so, so she ends up being pregnant, and I don't know. I feel like if my friend told me that she got pregnant off of a one-night stand with some guy, and she was like, oh, a special connection. Like, you try to be supportive.
It just seems like
but
such
she
a bad
told her,
idea.
she was like, whatever you decide to do, like, I support you, you know? And she was like, I think I'm going to have it. And she's like,
okay.
Yeah, because that's the thing, right? You don't want to be the friend like, bitch. It's hard, and you are kind of a mess. And
you're not going to
have
support.
And you're going to be thinking I'm going to be the one here doing all the stuff for you, which I'm not going to be able to because I'm struggling to keep my life afloat. So
it's so hard.
It's not easy. And for anyone who thinks it's super easy, I'd love to hear in the comments below, or you like reach out to let us, like, what are we missing? Because for me,
maybe we're doing it wrong.
Perhaps. Because I feel like I've heard people be like, women always complain about how hard it is to be a mom. All you gotta do is make lunches. All you gotta do is, like, I'm really curious to have a conversation about, like, how much it is that you're, you know what I mean? Like, and are you the person who pushed the baby out? Like, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it when that's not you. So, I mean, I'd love to hear that perspective on, like, oh yeah, this was a breeze. Because perhaps that is somebody's experience. I do think that it gets, a lot of times when we see those stories and stuff, they're not going into all the stuff they went into. So it makes it seem like that. Which is why, to me, it's refreshing to see some of the
it reminds me of one of my favorite book titles, Everything's Perfect When You're a Liar.
Ooh. Damn. Who wrote that?
I don't know. I just remember that. I never read the book. I just remember that title because I was like, that's hilarious and true. Cause that's pretty much the only way things can be perfect if you're a liar.
If you're just basically...
if I lie about it, it's going great.
So it was just nice to see that transition, though, and the realness of just having the conversations with your friends about expectations on their time and like what you can and can't do. And that is the hard, we kind of talked about this in Other Significant Other, like the shift that happens once you do have kids. Like, no, I'm not available all the time. And the guilt that you feel. So like Michelle's character was a dentist, and so she was trying to find childcare so she can go back to work. And so like the anxiety you feel having people watching your children that aren't family, even when they are family. I had a lot of anxiety even knowing that the people who were watching my child loved my kids. And just, I don't know, just the realness of that, man. Like,
and also too, because your kids have allergies and how difficult it is. Because I remember this happened on with family members of mine where there was an older caretaker who didn't really believe in allergies.
Didn't believe in.
Like, they're like, we just need to give them a little bit of it. And it's just like,
please stop. Please stop. Like, that's the other part too. It challenges all of your relationships, actually. It challenges your relationship with your parents, your friends, and anybody who's involved with your kids, because you have an idea about how you want things to go, and it's bumping up against how other people think. And I don't think that we give enough grace to new parents. Like, I feel like you're being thrusted into a totally, like, the scene where she'd had the baby. And I mean, like, the realness of them kicking you out in 2 days, whether you feel ready or not in the States. I don't know if you guys are listening from other places, but here, honey, you got 48 hours and you are out on your ass. Unless, of course, you know, you had I think maybe you get more time if you've had a C-section. It might be one extra day.
Yeah.
If they cut you open and removed your baby and sewed you back up. But yeah, like they kick her out, not kick, you know, she has to leave the hospital. She's like in front of this hospital with a car seat in her bag, and she's like trying to hail a taxi, and I was like, she just had a baby like 48 hours ago, and like it's okay, go kick into gear. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, man. I just feel like it's a lot of.
It's not humanitarian. No,
it's not. And I love to hear stories about people in other places that, you know, it's like, oh yeah, we get, you know, what was it? Somewhere in South Korea where they have these workers. I think I said this on Stranger Than Fiction one time, where, you know, you can hire people through the government to come clean your house, you know, cook meals and stuff for you for the first couple months after having a baby.
I like that job. I can see that being a good job for me. I would love taking care of like a new mom. Because it is you're so vulnerable, and you do need so much support.
And it's hard to verbalize it because people assume that you should just be getting back to action and then like hosting people at your home in the States. Like, we have friends from other places who were like, it's fucking ridiculous that like you guys are expected to host people. Like, just days after having had a baby, people come to your house and just sit there. And they don't bring food. They want to hold your baby. They're not like they're cleaning or meal prepping for you or imploring you to lay down. Like, and that's you know, of course there's always like that one person who's probably like, you know, you can go take a rest or here's some stuff. But like, for the most part, there is this expectation for new moms and new families to just like
be perfect immediately.
Yeah. Never mind, you know, you just had a C-section, or never mind, you're trying to figure out breastfeeding. Maybe I don't feel comfortable whipping out my boob in front of my granny yet to like, or my brother-in-law and his, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't even know what the fuck is going on. And where have you been though? Have you washed your hands? Like, I'm stressed.
Yeah, I can't. It can be a whole thing. So I love these ladies. On the whole, I really liked their interpretation of the motherhood journey.
I did too.
As opposed to maybe some other things we've seen that have been more, I don't know, like when you think of sitcom births, they're always so over the top. And
that's why I didn't know. I was like, is this labor? I guess
just from reading books. Like, to me, that was always the thing that was like, okay, so like women used to have babies in fields. You
squatting
would just
over holes.
Like bit off the, you know, the umbilical cord. Like, that's some hardcore stuff. But like, what you gonna do? You know what I mean?
Sharp rock?
And we gotta reach it.
That is true. Now I gotta drag myself. Yeah, that's true. I don't like it. It's just,
and sometimes I felt like it hurt so bad I couldn't see. Like, I just kept my eyes closed.
I had epidural. You was tripping. Fuck that.
It just felt more bearable if I couldn't see anything.
That makes sense, because then it's like, let me cut off one of my senses. There's too much going on right now. Let me focus on breathing.
Oh my goodness.
I've never felt a pain that I've tried to, like, I just remember being like, there's nowhere I can go. I can't escape this. Like, I just remember trying to like crawl out of my body. I don't know how else to explain it, but I just remember being like, oh, like there's nothing here. I can't.
I like and I like the getting through it. Like, we were talking about this earlier about how you think I'm a psycho because I like running.
Yeah.
And you and my grandmother had a whole conversation about it in front of me.
In front of you.
About myself.
Yes.
And I was just saying, one of the greatest things about it, because of course there is a level of discomfort in doing aerobics.
Discomfort. It's the worst.
And then, but it feels amazing when you stop. And
that's what I'm saying.
But
never start. You don't have to suffer first. You can just feel good the whole time.
When you're finally able to stop and just breathe. And like I said, I like sweating. To me, that's always like, not always, but usually the indication that having a good time. Like there's an activity that I wanted to keep doing so much that I worked up a sweat. So it was like, I'm like, yeah, it feels amazing. You get this rush of adrenaline. Like, it's like, oh, my body did that. And I felt like connected to this primordial past of women who've done this.
No. That's so nice. I wish I was that. But
It felt spiritual. Like, it felt spiritual. So, yeah. But I'm also not anti-epidural.
Sure. I was like, where are the drugs directly into my spinal cord, please? Where are those? I'm going to need those right now, please. And it was so crazy because, of course, the second time I waited a little bit longer, too. So it was like, because both times I was dilated to 2 in a face, like almost 90%, meaning the baby's pretty much down there. And so, because I was going off of the last time, I'm like, I have time or whatever. So we end up going to the hospital and they checked me. They're like, you're like about 5 centimeters right now. I was like, oh, okay. And so it was like, how, what's your pain level right now? And I was like, I don't know, like an 8 or whatever. And they're like, well, where do you, like, before you need your epidural, where do you want to be? I was like, oh, a 9. Like, so right now is the time to give me the fluid so y'all can get this going. Yeah, I don't like hurting.
Okay.
Yeah, I try to avoid that if I can. So anywho, overall though, friend, I really love this. On top of the motherhood journey, the friendship journey was a really important story, I think, because our friendships do tend to evolve once we have families, once we get married and all that stuff. And, we talked about this, like just the beauty in being able to preserve those friendships that you've had possibly before you've actually had kids or a family. It's such a beautiful magic trick when you can pull it off.
It is, because honestly, it has been amazing to see the growth.
Yeah.
Like knowing you before momhood and after momhood, you're such a good mom.
Thank you.
Like you're just really, really good at that job. Yeah. Like the organization really comes in handy. Also the compassion, and they're so cute.
They are adorable.
That helps.
I love them a lot.
That helps.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think anything else that we missed, friend. Like we won't.
Oh,
give it
the
all
ending.
Away. Oh, okay, yeah.
The ending. So it ends up great because it did test their friendship. Because she,
that was the whole thing. Like
Eden was trying to move in with Dawn. I like that both of their names are also kind of synonymous with beginnings.
Dawn.
I thought that was kind of a nice touch. But like, and Dawn is like, girl, no. And so it's like, I got a whole husband. I don't need another adult here. But like at the end, she ends up buying a house 3 blocks away.
Yeah, which
so
really
that
cute.
they can. She's like, I want our kids to grow up together the way we grew up together. And she's like, I was like that.
It's so sweet.
It was
though.
very sweet.
It really does capture, the specialness of those other relationships too. And it's super dope too when you have a partner who understands that like you have these bonds with people outside of your relationship that they're okay with letting them in.
He seemed pretty cool with it,
Yeah,
actually.
he was. I mean, except for when she popped in there eating them chips talking about, so you weren't at my doctor's appointment.
Right.
In the middle of their argument using her key.
Losing losing the nanny because she showed the daggone baby the omen. Now, come on now.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the thing, too. I'm glad in our friendship, I never have to worry about any of that kind of fluckery. Like, you're going to show my baby the freaking, I didn't even.
And then tell you not to tell them about it. Be like, don't tell your mom.
Yeah, don't start that. No,
that's we're not doing that. We're not doing that. And
don't teach my baby that.
She's going to know.
She's going to learn. You're going to learn
That's the
today.
thing.
And also, like, 4-year-olds aren't cool. You can't make those kind of deals with them.
They're insane. And they are easily scared. Like, you don't show them that. Nightmares. Oh, my God. I would have went off.
I always say real life is scary enough. I remember, I promise you, when I saw Gremlins as a child, which is such a rinky-dink little, I know, it's laughable.
Yeah.
But at
Back
4 or
then.
5, it was terrifying. I'm like, you can't kill these motherfuckers?
Right.
Like,
They're just here now?
They're just here now, and then they get all crazy if you feed them after midnight. What if you're in a different time zone? How do they even know?
Why are you up that late?
And then they came out of those shells, like them slimy shells.
Ew, I forgot about that.
Oh, that was so scary. I didn't even like Gizmo because I'm like, I know what you're capable of.
I don't trust you.
I don't care
Nice
that you're
try.
all fluffy right
Okay,
now.
nice
You're
try,
turn into
sir.
one of them little things. And then they were all evil. They were like little.
They were raw. Yeah. They were
Ugh,
little
I
ratchet
hated
little
that.
kids.
And that was nothing compared to The Omen.
The Omen, I don't even think I've ever seen that.
I saw it as an adult. And because I remember people used to talk about it and stuff like that, but I'm like, I don't like that.
I don't care to see that. I don't want that. And I don't mind some scary movies, but that, I don't need to see that.
Real life is scary enough.
Yeah. Thank you.
There was just a shooting yesterday.
There was a bunch of, I'm about to say, that was just one of many.
It was just
here,
the televised
which is
one.
so sad.
But there was real life scary enough. I don't need all that. I don't know. Do you want to take a break?
Yeah,
so that we can get happy again?
Let's get happy again. Okay. You guys, we'll be right back. All right, guys, so welcome back from our break. Kat and I are idiots, man. We just had a great time.
Oh, boy, we did.
On all kinds of tangents.
I love you so much.
I love you so
much. I needed this and didn't even know.
I know, that's how it feels. That's why we do this, you guys. This is for us, and, you know.
I've had this, headache this week, really? Right in here, and, now it's, finally my shoulder can drop, and... It's just, I had this crazy stress dream last night where I drove my car into the ocean.
What? Oh my God. Dramatic.
I was following this guy and I thought he was on a motorcycle, but he was actually on a jet ski.
Why were you following him?
Right.
Okay. But it was a dream. So I'm like, who was this? Where was he trying to take you?
Well, I don't even know. It's dream logic.
It
right?
is, I know.
So then afterwards, when I realized what was going on, I get out of the car and I'm like, well, should I get a tow truck or something? And someone was like, no, it'll wash up on the shore later. It'll be fine. And I was like, well, what am I going to do for a car? I need a car.
Like,
so I woke up this morning super happy I still had a car.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Nothing like a crazy dream to.
But my jaw was like,
ooh. You were grinding your teeth.
A little bit. So thank you. I said all that to say thank you. And also thank you to everyone who was involved with Babes, because that also really helped to, like I said, there's so much going on in the news today. You do need to take a break. And actually just have some enjoyable media.
Yeah, and to just focus on just how friendships make life better, and how, even though we do go through changes in our lives and different seasons, it's just, I don't know, man. It's just something about being able to hold on to those friendships that are important. And I'm really grateful because you're one of several friendships that I have that I've been able to kind of foster over the years. I don't think that that's an easy task. I mean, some of them are, maybe it would be the same because, you have people who don't live in the city and stuff like that. But there's something nice about being able to rest on those friendships, knowing that the energy doesn't change. If I call you and we touch down, it's no time has passed. And so to me, I think the biggest thing I got from this movie as far as messaging is, being able to show up for your friends, being able to set boundaries and respect kind of the transitions, and focusing on the good. Yeah. Because I think if you focus on what you think you're not getting, you know what I'm saying, which parenthood teaches you not to do. Yeah. You really do have to focus on the positive, and I don't know, it grows you up quick, man. It really does keep it shifts your focus from yourself to more of a, your child, but just recognizing you're not always the main character. Everybody's the main character, and making space for everybody is possible if you're willing to, make concessions. Nobody's getting 100% of what they want, but
that's
focusing
life.
on
It's this or nothing.
Life. It's this or nothing, guys. So, how would you rate this book overall? What would you? Not book, movie. Listen,
I'm really not allowed to because I didn't finish it for real. Ooh. Those are the rules, and we're very strict up here at the Fake Ass Book Club.
That is so true. You get lashes on the bottom of your feet when you
review. But I'm a big believer in that you really shouldn't review media unless you've consumed it properly all the way through. Even though with what I watched, I loved it.
It was very good. And I'm going to give it, I'm going to give it 4 out of 5, 4.5 breast pumps.
That's a pretty high score.
Yeah. Because it was, I do think that on the other side of that, if you, a little bit older than us, I feel like they maybe wouldn't like it just from the sense
they say
of
the B word a lot.
It's because honestly, I think that just seeing women having the same kind of conversations that men have about their experiences in the same raw way.
Yeah.
It's like, you guys are.
It can be a little
raunchy.
generational.
A little bit. And And because I'm that girl in a lot of ways, to me, I like to see that because, I like to keep it together, but also too, like on a friendship level, like we're having these conversations. Like I'm not mincing words. Yeah, so it was nice to see women unburdened and, making light of their situation, but also giving a real glimpse into the difficulties that we face juggling all of this stuff all the time. So
the big and the small.
Yeah. So I really loved it. I thought it was great. So that's my rating. I think if you're a little older than us, maybe you might think it's raunchy. But if you're not somebody who, like if you don't like pussy jokes. Drugs.
Or that word, like sometimes you can't even say the word. Like people be like,
you're gonna hate it. You're gonna hate it.
But I
liked it.
I can't wait till it's on Netflix.
I'm a little off color myself.
Yeah.
So
I think more people probably see it once it's like, because right now I had to pay to watch it.
Oh, you did?
I did because I didn't because it's only in one spot. I haven't been home.
Got you. Oh, there. I gave you things.
You did. You did. It's okay.
It is. You have lots to look forward to. Y'all know how I feel, so I want to go home. So with that, you guys, we're not going to keep you for much longer. So let's spin this wheel so y'all can go home. Spin it. Okay. This is going to be a fun episode. You guys, next week, you have an episode where we are going to answer questions, am I the asshole, and possible just some listener letters. So it's a straight up advice, us giving our takes on certain situations, and I'm excited for that.
I'm super excited too.
Because I feel like we give pretty decent advice.
I need it in my life.
It's going to be so much fun. So we're going to have some stuff for you guys next week. Hopefully you're able to tune in again. I'm trying to think, do we have any? We don't really have anything coming up. I'm kind of happy.
A little bit, yeah.
There's not much going on right now, you guys.
I'm going to try to get my life together.
That's a good plan.
Do some painting.
Some painting would be fun. We should do something.
Oh, you know what? I do know something that's coming up this Wednesday. Songs You Never Hear Out.
Oh, shout out Brothers to the Night.
Yes. So, it's summertime.
Wednesday. Are you going? Gonna try? Or are we just plugging him because we want y'all to go? And
I want to go so bad, but that's going to be the only evening I have Eden that week.
Ain't that it?
So
see, motherhood, juggling.
Yeah, like I don't want to like chuck the deuces on her because she can't come.
No, she can't come. She ain't invited.
And I kind of do want
to. I want to go to one of them. So we will try to maybe I
can go to an early one.
Okay.
Because I think it starts at 8. So if we got there early,
I'm thinking before school starts, I could try to grab one. That would be great. I would love to go
the next one will be after school starts. Because it's the third Wednesday of, because when does school start?
Of every month?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, so this might be the last non-school night where it happens.
Damn.
So like I could probably
that
make
went
it
really fast.
Because I've done that before in the fast where I'll just go at like 8, like right when it starts, and just have a drink and then come home.
So the 17th?
Yeah.
Okay, this might be the one.
This might be it. Let's do it. I'm
gonna try. I'm gonna try my
And
best.
Actually, what I might do is just drop my daughter. Well, no, that'd be too late.
Bring her over here.
I could bring her over here. I was gonna say I could drop her off to see my, the baby and stuff, but that'll be kind of late.
We'll talk about the details later.
Yes.
But you guys should go if you get a chance to, because where is it? Do you know where?
White Rabbit Cabaret.
Okay. Yep. Fountain Square area. If you're in Indianapolis, pull up.
I'm not sure if it starts at 7 or 8. I tell myself 8.
Go online, guys. So
There's promotion and stuff like that, but it is a really good time.
And I like the White Rabbit as a venue too.
I love that venue.
It's very nice.
I got the number of the guy who owns it and stuff because I told him we might want to do events there and everything. It's in my car.
Because I would love to do another painting event like we did last summer, like either another like figure drawing class, or even if it's just something where we have canvases and stuff. Maybe we can get with Box and
we could just have. There's so many things we could do because we know so many awesome people.
We do. I mean, not to show off or anything.
I'm just saying, there's just so much talent here in our lovely city.
It is.
And I love the White Rabbit Cabaret because it shows it off a lot.
It sure does. So, you guys, this has been fun. Hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. As always, you guys follow us, like, subscribe, share, do all of the things. Let us know if there's stuff you guys want us to review. We got a couple of really good ideas on some reviews for a couple of upcoming topics. So please do submit those at thefabpodcast@gmail.com. And, do stuff that you love, you guys, because it's this or nothing, okay? Friend, what do you say about this time?
Your body belongs to you. So if you want to have a baby, do that. And if you don't have to.
Don't do it. Yeah. All right, friend. Well, we're out of here. Summertime fine, y'all.
Before we go, we must give thanks to Urban Nerd for providing our music, and legal services were handled by Trezanae M. Atkins. If you like what you heard, please feel free to join us every Wednesday for another fake-ass book club. Cheers.
Thank you guys for listening. You can check us out at thefabpodcast.com. Please subscribe, rate, and review our podcast wherever you're listening right now. We want to hear from you. Come put it in our life. Thanks again, and until next time, peace, love, and the Fake Ass Book Club. We out.